can't iron horse and feed it heyday quick. I'm still the Sonic on stage with the hip hop band. I'm on the world tour with Muhammad, my man. Jungle, it ain't a puzzle. I make the track bounce when I bubble. Get down, get down. Take a swab of that true blueness, exclusive. I call that the Trap Call Quest, featuring Q-Tip. I do this, coming out the wazoo with newness, shocking these con artists with the ruthless. Pioneers laid the foundation with the blueprint. All you gotta do is what you feel, ain't no rules to this dish. We hostile, so when you see smoke coming out my nostrils, I'm about to breathe fire through my tonsils. Dock you, your opinions are not the gospel. If you ain't holding the door open, then you an obstacle. Baby Bam spitting out the wop bobbaloo. Without a DJ, none of these jams will be possible. I walk tall, carry a big staff, and when I go back to the home of hip hop, they call me Af. You don't see me where I'm at in the lab, with memories on my mind that never could be gentrified. You get down. I seen rock fights turn into gunfights, but now we rock mics. I used to roll dice, but now my flow's tight. I got some cold ice to hold me down till my dough's right. Back on the road, I tell myself this is your life, your life, your life, your life. Whether I'm at the bottom or top billing, I still got a ghost face, kill it. Don't catch feelings, as long as my milk is chilling. If not, then bam, make 'em run DMC, cause you be illin'. Real talk, I got so much funky ish inside my brain. Black thought, how many years these brothers been up in the game? Support, just drop the beat and quest level, make it bang. Report, the JB's gotta go against the grain. Ain't no play-ish, we on some payday-ish. Before that payday hit, I dropped the mixtape quick. Before that due date hit,
Time flies when you're having fun, and fun is exactly what we've been having right here in beautiful Rotorua, New Zealand for the past decade. I can't believe it's been 10 years. We're celebrating the anniversary in style. We've already kicked things off last weekend with the Taniwha downhill, and today we got big action. We have the Crankworx Speed and Style with a brand new redesigned course, but that's not the end of it. We got a whole weekend coming up of exciting events.
Yeah, we're just kicking it off tomorrow. We're gonna have a double day. We're gonna do the pump track and the slalom event. The weather has been coming out. I think, you know, the 10 years we've been here, this is one of the best years. The progression is continuing, and that's gonna roll all the way into Sunday.
Sunday and sunscreen. Sunday's gonna be insane with the slopestyle in memory of Magaza. We got 14 of the best slopestyle riders in the men's field, plus a world's first. The women's field debuting here in Rotorua is gonna be so exciting. But today, it's all about speed and style. Brand new course. Why don't we go check it out? This is a GoPro course preview with Mike Ross and Duke Millington.
I'm Mike Ross.
I'm Duke Millington.
This is your Rotorua 2024 Speed and Style course preview. Dropping. Here we go, first few crucial pedals, up over the rollers, into the first corner, around, nice flip, and into the rhythm straight. You gotta be on it through here. Over the shark fin, the last few corners. Here we go, hold on to your screens. Yeah, boy! There we go. The last flat turns. Woo! Nice.
Oh, that new course is looking so good. If this is your first time joining us for a speed and style event, let's talk about what this format is all about. So it's side-by-side racing, and first thing to note is it is a race. So you're gonna give yourself an advantage, obviously, if you cross the finish line first, but there's those 2 trickable jumps on the course. What's the story with those, Alan?
So these 2 trick jumps that the riders will be able to take on each of their runs, they're offering up time back on their runs. And the currency to get that is by doing tricks. You can see here, I earn 100 points, and that equals 1 second off of my time. 2 jumps on each run. These riders will have the opportunity to get those time discounts. And when it all adds up in the end, we'll see who's moving ahead.
Well, come on, you always beat me in these examples. Can I get it for once?
Oh,
you got
I take it by 0.7. Close race, bud. Close race.
I can't wait to find out who's gonna take it here today. This is the Crankworx Rotorua Speed and Style, and it starts right now.
Crankworx is... it's a crazy thing to be involved in.
It's hectic, but you're in it and you're just like loving it.
A reunion of friends and people in different cultures.
All these cool different locations, all these different tracks.
There's always so much stuff going on.
People are just stoked on biking, and they're just stoked to be here.
Hearing so much energy around.
We live for that.
Unreal.
Please make sure that your seatbelt is fastened. Thank you and enjoy the flight.
We are gonna have some fun today. This is tradition. It feels so good to be here in Rotorua, New Zealand. The sun is shining. We're gonna have fun today, but we're gonna have fun the next 2 days as well. All the fans are in attendance, the best riders in the world. We got speed and style today. Can we complain about anything?
We cannot complain about anything, Cam. As you said, the sun is shining. The courses are prime. We got some new courses out there. We got new riders that we haven't seen. These riders got new tricks. It's 2024. Let's kick this season off.
It's so good. I mean, some of you can't join us here. We can't fit all the mountain bike fans on the planet here at the venue. So we're excited to have you joining us here on YouTube. And I wanted to let you know, we got this like one-of-a-kind piece of merchandise right here. You have the opportunity to win this. This is the first year ever we're having a women's field in the slopestyle, which the course is right behind me. You can see it. It's beautiful. It's legendary. It's iconic. All the women competing on Sunday have signed this shirt. You can win it. Make sure you talk to us all day long here on the comment box here on the Red Bull Bike YouTube channel for a chance to win this t-shirt. We've already had a bit of racing to get to the point where we start the broadcast here today.
Yeah, we get to pick it up right in the thick of the action. You know, the racers and the tricksters, they're kind of coming together now. They're going to get faster. The heats are going to get tighter, and every little ounce of energy they put out on the course is going to make a difference if they can move on.
I feel like the best thing we could possibly do right now is to take a look at the round of 16 highlights for the men and see who makes it through to the round of 8, which is where we're going to pick up our broadcast right now. Let's take a look. So the thing we do with any side-by-side bracketed race format is we take a look after seeding who qualified first, who qualified second. They are on a collision course with each other. Right now, we're taking a look at this heat between Duke Millington and Brooker. Number 1 qualifier today is Duke Millington. He's looking pretty on point.
Yeah, Millington looking really on point. We see this next crew coming down here. I believe this is going to be our 2nd place qualifier.
Billy Meeklum right here, top of your screen.
And you see these riders, one on the blue or one on the red course, one on the black course. Each rider will take a run on both sides, so there really is no advantage. They need to stay on the gas and on point. And here we had a unique race, didn't we, Cam?
This is something you do not see very often. When I saw this matchup on the piece of paper, I said, wow, Bas van Steenbergen and Jackson Frew, these are 2 guys who don't have a lot of tricks, but they're really fast. They made an agreement, seemingly, at the top to not do a trick. So it was a drag race. Jackson Frew won. He advances into the round of 8. Okay, our champion from just 1 year ago, Mike Ross. We thought he was a shoo-in. Take a look, Alan.
Yeah, Mike Ross, unfortunately, taking an uncharacteristic fall on a cash roll. Maybe the most consistent cash roll on the Crankworx World Tour. And we see here what happened, just a little bit under-rotated on the flip portion of it, and that just pivoted his body right over the bars and actually took a pretty big hit on his tush there.
So the defending champion and today's number 5 qualifier, Mike Ross, not going to make it into the round of 8. Brierly will take that spot. As we look at our brackets here, the round of 8 for the men, what stands out for you at first peek, Alan?
Man, it's such an early season, but it is really nice to see Billy back in that spot. You know, he's looking super fast, had a big injury a couple years ago. But, oh man, I think Fru, he's really targeting that king crown. Everybody's going to be on point. We have Tuhoto in here. We haven't seen him in the speed and style round of 8 yet. So, man, it's anyone's game.
We got to talk about Tuhoto, our reigning king. But we also have to talk about Garrett Meacham, a guy who won in cans and speed and style, also was not out of the top 4 in any of the 4 stops last year. He also took away 3 podiums. He is in the game, Garrett Meacham, the number 3 qualifier. And we're going to pick things up here with this bracket. It's Duke Millington and the reigning king of Crankworx from the 2023 season, the local boy here in Rotorua, New Zealand, Tuhoto Ariki Pene. So Duke Millington on the left side of your screen, Tuhoto on the right. All right, we're doing this.
Tuhoto representing Intense this year on that fresh bike. He's not going to take any time off trying to get those points to regain that king crown at the end. A suicide no-hander to suicide no-hander, pumping through. Tuhoto holding his own with the speed as well as the tricks. And here they come down to the final Showtime booter. Let's see what they got.
Oh man, oh no! Oh!
That was a tuck no-hander to toboggan out of Tuhoto, but unfortunately Duke over-rotating that front flip and having a heavy slam, possibly knocking himself out. We have some of the best medical staff here on site at Crankworx. They will be tending to him. Yeah, not the way you want to start off the day.
You know what? Duke Millington has been doing that front flip all day. That's how he secured that prime position. He was sitting in there at number 1 qualifier. But we've been seeing a lot of people going down on front flips on that final jump here today. Just overzealous, you know, it's the big show for the day. Round of 8, too much rotation on that front flip there for Duke.
And Cam, how much do you really attribute that to the combination of race and trick? Because usually, you know, when we're watching slopestyle, they are focused on the tricks. Everything that they're doing, their speed, you know, their breath, where they're pointing the front wheel, it's all about the trick. But here they're racing and they're having to, you know, navigate those things that just come up.
That's the hardest part about being a competitor in this discipline is for these technical tricks, they all have their ideal speed. If you're just doing a competition like slope style, you can choose the ideal speed for every trick, but you're in the middle of a race here in speed and style. So you're coming into that lip as fast as you possibly can. Last minute adjustments to try to get that ideal speed, but he went way too fast. When you're coming in fast, it's easier to start that rotation and just too much sauce on there. So we're wondering, we want to get you involved here in this poll. Who do you think is most likely to shake up the results out here today? I mean, Martha Gill, you've been talking about her chances for looking at that Queen of Crankworx overall title. We got Jordy Scott back in the mix, which is so exciting. And then Jackson Fru and Tuhoto, the local boy. Give us your votes. Let's check it out. Well, that's always a good sign. We hear a round of applause. There we go. Duke Millington up and about. That was a heavy slam. Glad to see him up.
Yeah, it looked like he did have a back protector on there, so glad to see that. Unfortunately, definitely going to take a bump on his head there. We see Tuhoto tuck no-hander to suicide no-hander. That is an unbelievably technical combo out of the more notoriously known as a racer.
Was it, or was it a double tuck? It was hard to tell.
Yeah, it happened so fast, but he had full extension on it, so he's going to be most likely getting the maximum points on that.
There we go. On the last jump, did he do the same thing? Oh yeah, tuck to toboggan. Here we go. We're going to see left side of your screen right now.
Now let's watch his tires. Is he over-rotated or did he over-jump? See?
Both.
And that's where it happens. Look how far down he was. Because of that extra speed, he was trying to make up that distance between him and Tuhoto. And I think really what ended up happening, he just over-jumped the jump.
Which meant he was in the air for a longer period of time, which means he was just going to continue rotating. That all combined for, man, a big slam. Good to see him up. We got the next heat in the gate. Liam Brierly and Mark Ducat. Should be a pretty even matchup here, as you see, number 12 and number 13 qualifiers. Brierly scoring on this slot here in the round of 8 after that crash we saw earlier at the top of the show from Mike Ross. And Mark Ducott, he advanced after Jaden Fleming did the same thing we just saw Duke Millington do, crash on a front flip on that very same jump.
So we got a couple of wild cards here.
Could shake it up.
Gate drops down, both riders out clean, nearly side by side up into the first turn. Here they come around to the first trick jump. Let's see what they got. Big XF backflip and a cranked table 360 straight back on the pedals.
Oh.
That is where this gets so technical. You have to use your left and your right brain at the same time. You're racing and you're stunting.
And Mark with the
Both riders clean over the last trick jump. We had a 360 and a flip there, getting a little loose.
Okay, I want to talk about, we haven't even touched on this yet. How technical are those flat turns after the final trick jump before the finish line?
That's an excellent call. You know, I think that is probably the most underrated and most technical part of this track. These riders are going to be a little winded. They're going to be coming off of their hardest tricks. And they're going to have to get straight back on the pedals and navigate 4 flat turns. Going back up the course a little bit here, seeing what we saw out of these riders. They were both super, super tight on time as well as trick caliber. So it's going to be interesting to see how close these times are.
There we go. This is a great clean angle there. That's what I thought. Straight 360 and a straight backflip. So you're just going to get kind of stock trick scores for those. We should also mention the way that the judges judge this. They have a set baseline of point values assigned to the tricks they expect to see, but there's some wiggle room for their scores, right?
Yeah, perfect execution. And what that is they're going to take height, they're going to take extension, and they're going to take how smooth they are into account, and you can actually score more points. And then even on another thing we haven't talked about, Cam, another layer of speed and style, if you don't trick, you actually get time added to your time.
These gates are insane. Watch how loose both of these riders get.
I think we're watching the rider on the left on the last gate. Rider's right, our left on the red. Watch this back tire. Does it make it around the gate? Sliding, sliding, foot.
Oh man, what
bounced over it. Yeah, man.
Oh!
Just skipping across the finish line there. They'll leave that one up to the judges. That's too close to call from here.
And that back tire kind of went right up and over the pole.
Yeah, it did kind of look like it went over the upright. Those poles are screwed into the ground. There's a hard plastic base and then just a flimsy spot right there.
I just got word here on DQ.
Okay, so that's going to give that 2-second maximum advantage going into the next round. It's not over yet. Anything can happen here in speed and style.
The penalty applied right there. So basically the maximum differential is what that mistake is going to cost. We got the next heat loaded up into the gate right now. This is pretty exciting. Right side of your screen right there. Well, now the left side of your screen. White jersey. That's Garrett Meacham. Top 4 in all 4 stops last season in this discipline. A win.
Yeah,
Garrett
having an amazing Crankworx World Tour last year, really coming out on his own.
2 wins last year. Cairns took the W, Whistler took the W. So Garrett Meacham, I'd say not only look for him as a guy who could win all of these if he puts it together, but he could be a contender for King of Crankworx as we advance through this season. He's going up against Wade Turner, the number 6 qualifier.
Garrett always a strong starter, but Wade keeping him very, very honest. Both riders not a stranger to the cadence of the gate out here.
Oh,
looked like a no-footed can to table out of Wade Turner. Some tricks that we're not used to seeing.
There's a backflip bar spin from Garrett. Garrett spinning out.
You can see Wade there shooting ahead. That inside is a lot faster. Truck to X up out of Garrett, looking really smooth.
Oh wow, where
on
did he
those
find
flat
that
turns, man. Those are those flat turns we're talking about.
Yeah, buddy.
So you see the scores coming in there for Meacham, 126 on jump 1, 112 on jump number 2.
Did you see how tight that differential was?
Look at this backflip bar spin to 1-footed can from Garrett Meacham. Man, he looks like he needs to grab a gear. Is he running single speed?
There's that 360 bar spin to X up.
The bar spin to tuck there.
And then this is where we saw Garrett make up a lot of time. We saw Wade get a little loose on turn 2 there in the flats, and he had to go a little bit tighter and Garrett just snuck right in there.
You know how far back Garrett was coming into the lip of that last jump? He made so much time up in those flat turns. The kid is looking on point this season. Garrett Meacham, the leader of this matchup. We will get them back up to the top of the course, switch sides, do it all over again, and eliminate one. So, run one of our quarterfinals here. The final matchup in run number one. This is going to be Jackson Frew. Advanced past Bass Van Steenbergen in that drag race where they both did no tricks. Going up against the number 2 qualifier, Billy Meeklum. Well, we caught up with Jackson Frew earlier. Take a look at what he's been up to.
Yeah, it kind of became a bit of a thing that I was thinking about last year, and it's turn up every day, swing for the fence, and hope you hit something, and if you don't, make the best of it either way. And kind of seems to be the thing that I learned from Bass the most, whereas you turn up and you just do everything you can, and those points are what's going to make the difference.
Yeah, making do with what you have. That's how you got to really look at this tour. It's going to be a long season, 4 stops, and here we go. We're just kicking it off here. Jackson Frew and Billy McLean, our number 7 and number 2 qualifiers, both with a solid snap out of the gate. Billy staying honest against the racer as they come around to these first trick jumps. This is where they're going to separate.
Oh man, a truck to X from Billy and just a toboggan from Jackson. Billy may be behind, but he's going to score a lot for that first trick.
Yeah, Billy getting hung up in that rhythm section a little bit. He was going for a technical rhythm there. Let's see what he's got. Big table, 360 to Euro.
Oh, wow. Well, Billy had great tricks on both jumps, and he kept it pretty tight to Jackson, who was absolutely on a tear there. He kept it within a half a second, just over half a second. And Billy scoring 112 on jump number 1, 105 on jump number 2. So much style. I mean, the judges are looking at that last jump for Billy going, all right, it's a 360 table, but it was really well executed. And he poked out a second little bonus round of style after the table, and he was rewarded for it. Look at this jump number 1.
Yeah, this jump number 1. Look at the amplitude. This is how they're going to be getting more points. Look how high he is in the air. That is not just a 360 bar spin to X up. That is a perfect 360 bar spin to X up. And look at that. Both tires come in perfect.
It looks like they're on different jumps. Watch how Billy just catapults to the moon here, inverted on that tabletop amidst that 360, and then tucks it in the Euro Steez. Yeah, I mean, you can have the biggest tricks in the world, but unless you can keep close to a fast racer like Jackson Frew, you're never going to advance out of rounds. Billy's got the whole thing. That's why he's got that number 2 next to his name today. Second place qualifier.
You know when you see somebody do something and for some reason it feels good to watch it? I think Billy just did that for me on that last jump. That was beautiful.
That was that for sure. And we're going to see them crunch the numbers, and we're going to see Billy Meeklin be the leader.
Good job, dude.
As they head back up to the top to switch sides. Jack, I mean, we talk about how great it is to see well-executed tricks, but Jackson's scrubs, the fact that he's able to take that much speed into those steep kickers and stay that low. It's like if we were playing a game of like scrub limbo or something, it'd be tough to beat Jackson Frew right now. All right, we got some results here from our poll. Ooh, tight between Tuhoto and Jordy. I love it. You all have been paying attention out there. You know that Tuhoto is the reigning king. You know how strong Jordy Scott is. Now she's back from injury. Good stuff, people. Let's see what we got going on in the chat, Alan. Anything fun going on in there?
Yeah, so here we are. We're looking at the first bracket here, a round of 8s. Saw Millington, unfortunately, going down. So Penne, he's going to take that lead into there. We'll see maybe if Millington's even able to come back and try to fight it. We got Turner. He's going to be facing a 1.296, trying to get little Rojo. And Frew with a 1.4 to make up over Billy McLean. So some big gaps so far. I would expect things to be a little bit tighter, but it's going to come in.
Well, this is the first broadcast of this kickoff to the 2024 season that we've been a part of, Alan, but we actually had a broadcast last weekend, the Taniwha Downhill. And man, was it exciting.
Yeah, it was an amazing, amazing track. It was super wet, super muddy in practice and seating, but on race day, things came around, and man, I would say the track was at least, I don't know, 20% faster. I think the fastest male time was 15 seconds faster than the fastest qualifying time, so things got rapid.
I was right there with all of you who are sitting on your couch at home right now watching this. Yes, look at that, Stewie. I was on my couch watching this last weekend, and I was on the edge of my seat. My family was sleeping, and I kept hooting and hollering, and they're like, keep it down.
Yeah,
some young blood, huh, Alan? Jeez.
Yeah, a lot of super, super fast juniors in both the men's and women's categories. That's what's so cool about the Crankworx. These open categories, these young riders are able to race against faster riders than they would normally, and they came out on top here.
Lockie Stevens McNabb, that kid, big time, has a bright future in the sport of downhill racing. So fun to watch him. Fun to watch the youngster Tyler Waite as well. Just so much aggression out there on that downhill course. All right, well, we got our correspondent out there, boots on the ground, Katie Winton, checking out what those festival vibes are like all weekend. Let's check in, see what she's been getting up to.
For all the action as it happens, and for everything you didn't know you wanted to know, I've got unrestricted pass to Crankworx Rotorua. From discipline explainers to athlete interviews, I'm taking you with me behind the scenes on Crankworx Instagram stories.
That's awesome to have Katie out in the field kind of showing people what's going on. If there's anybody that can give you a cool behind the scenes view, it's going to be Katie Winton, one of the greatest of all time enduro racers.
So, Tanifa Downhill went off. That was a broadcast. Those of you who joined us, thank you. We all enjoyed it together. But also, there was another race yesterday. It wasn't a broadcast. This is a classic race. The Air DH. You see the results from that, Alan?
You know, I did miss the results, so I'm excited to see. But I know that my boy Gilchrist would have been going fast out there.
Are you sure you weren't cheating?
I'm not cheating,
really?
But I know he's fast.
Okay, well, you obviously know what you're talking about then. Look at that scrub. So Air Downhill takes place on the flow trail, the jump trail here at Skyline Rotorua Mountain Bike Park. Fun trail to ride, flowy, good spacing, but at race speed, just like A-Line, you're gonna have to scrub to be able to even touch those landings.
Yeah, not a lot of pedaling, but super, super physical from top to bottom. You wouldn't think it, but every ounce of energy is going into the backside trying to go faster, fast. Is that my boy Gilchrist on top?
You know what's up. I swear you were cheating, right?
I wasn't cheating, but he is fast.
How about Sick Mick up there in second? Teammates.
Nice.
Good stuff. So big day tomorrow. Once we're done with speed and style today, we're going to get a nice little night's sleep. You know, probably get some good food down at Eat Street in downtown Rotorua. And then 2 events tomorrow. We got dual slalom in the afternoon. And then under the lights, iconic little arena down there at the bottom of the venue, we're going to be doing Pump Track Challenge. It's going to be a blast.
Yeah, we've seen a lot of careers been made in that pump track corral. I'm excited to see what happens tomorrow night.
I'm hoping Tuhoto is going to be racing because everything gets so loud when he gets on course at pump track. It's a blast.
So it looks like Tuhoto is in the gate here. So unfortunately, it does sound like Millington is going to take a bye and step out of this contest. You know, that's a respectable move. You know, he did bump his head. You got to be careful with stuff like that.
So this is interesting too, right? Tuhoto, I mean, this is not his discipline. He's the reigning king at Crankworx. He usually racks up his points in definitely downhill, a lot of times slalom, and a lot of times pump track. He's trying his hand at speed and style here. He's like inventing some combos for himself that he's probably never done before. Combos we've seen before, but not the ones we'd expect out of a World Cup downhill racer and a king of Crankworx who you don't see in this discipline very much. But he makes these tricks look good. He's obviously fast, and now he's found himself with a spot in the round of 4. This is going to be good for his 2024 King campaign.
Yeah, I think Tuhoto is liking the view from the King's chair. He wants to defend that crown this year, and he's not going to leave any points on the table. So it's really awesome to see him, you know, diversifying his riding and pushing his limits and boundaries in whole new ways.
Somebody's been hanging out at the dirt jumps. Yeah, we see a comment on screen there. One of our viewers excited to see Jordy Scott back. We are too. I mean, it was 2 years ago we saw her with a big crash in speed and style, and then she disappeared for so long. To have her back now is just amazing. Great timing as well. We've got slope style for the women and Jordy Scott healthy and in speed and style. Speed and style is going to serve as a great feeder for the women's category in slope style as well. But back to racing action, Mark Ducat and Liam Brierley. Ducat with the advantage, a big one, 2.5 seconds.
Yeah, Byerly's going to have to be super clean on this race, as well as the tricks. He's going to need all the time deductions he can get to make up that 2.5. A huge backflip X up. Nice execution, straight back on the pedals, getting a little bit of a lead in through the rhythm section. Now he's going to be on inside to the finish. He's got a good start to get that 2.5 back.
Gonna need everything he can find out there.
Nice big carbon 3, staying smooth in the flat turns. What's he got?
So he crossed the finish line a little bit over a second ahead. He had 2.5 seconds to make up. So can he find another 1.5 seconds worth of trick points here? Scores coming in, a 93 and a 56 for Ducat. 63 on jump number 1 for Byerly.
There's that flip X up. Did you see the height on that? I heard your voice, and I didn't really know what it was about. He was coming in a little sideways, wasn't he?
That's what I was reacting to as well. I thought that he was going to be over-rotating and coming down sideways, but he guided her in for a smooth landing. This is what we're talking about, sprinting into this jump to get to that finish line, but also hopefully have the right speed for whatever trick you have in mind.
Yeah, and then bring that technicality to the other side and watch. He's not even off the landing and he's already thinking about pedals.
I agree, Neo. That was sick. Well said.
Oh, here we're live.
Yes, you are. So there we go. Liam Byerly will not make it up. Mark Ducat advances into the round of 4. He's going to be going up against the king, Suhoto.
Couple of new faces here on the Crankworx World Tour. Love seeing that. Giving the opportunity to anybody to come out here, make themselves a Crankworx specialist.
All right, we got Garrett Meacham, your number 3 qualifier, the winner of 2 last year, never outside of the round of 4. Can he make it into the round of 4 here at stop number 1?
Oh, Garrett almost over-rotating that flip bar spin to can-can.
Oh, it gets off in the rhythm.
Little off. He was taking it very, very chill on top, but you see him now. He's back on the horse. It's not going to be given to him from Wade.
With a 360 bar.
Nice 360 bar spin X up there for Meacham. He has the advantage. He crosses the finish line smooth through those flat turns.
Wade unfortunately getting caught out on that last flat turn there.
What's that?
These riders are just on the edge of traction. They're on the edge of speed. They're on the edge completely. Cam, you've competed in this category before. What's it like with that speed on your mind and you can see the rider out of the corner of your eye?
You know whatever you're thinking is a bad idea because you're coming too fast into the lip, but when you see that rider in your peripheral, it seems like a good idea because you're willing to do whatever it takes to try to get that advantage. And it's a unique experience compared to other disciplines. You only find that kind of scenario here in speed and style.
Yeah, look at that, side by side. Both riders definitely aware of each other's presence in that moment. This is where things got a little wild for Garrett. Little back tire on that one. He was able to recover. 360 bar spin X up and even gets a can-can.
What?
So a quadruple point earning
no brakes in the flats right there.
Trick.
I mean, Garrett is so insanely talented at controlling that bicycle.
Dude, they're gnarly.
To be able to get a 4-part combo and then ride those flat turns like he did. No front brake, by the way. Take a look at that left hand.
I was like,
it wouldn't really matter if he had one because he wasn't touching the one that he did have anyways.
hey, good showing. I know you guys will be back.
So, Garrett Meacham is going to advance into the round of 4, making it, I mean, 5 events in a row that he makes it into the final 4 in speed and style.
Oh, dude,
yeah, not without diversity, that's for sure. You were calling out that little spot up higher when he got off rhythm. And then I heard him say a little bit earlier when he was down at the bottom that he had to no break it all the way through the flat turns, which makes it that much more difficult. So it's looks like
there we go.
Going to advance.
Big question now is who's going to meet up. Who do you think is a more formidable opponent for Garrett? We're going to have this heat up in the gate now. It's going to be Jackson Frew and Billy Meeklum. Who do you think is going to give Garrett a tougher run into that final round?
Man, I think Jackson's kind of on his heels right now with just that focus on speed, and Billy's been looking solid all day long. You can see some tire choices here from Jackson. You wouldn't necessarily think that much PSI, but these riders are pushing into these jumps, they're pushing into these berms. 35 PSI is going to result in acceleration out of all of those backsides.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Gate comes down, Jackson with a solid slingshot out of the gate. 1.4 to make up. Billy's going to be taking it easy here. He needs to focus and be super clean on these jumps. That's where his advantage will be. Oh, there's that truck to X up, straight back on the pedals. Jackson just extending through this roller section. He is deadly on these sections.
Man, Jackson is fast. Whoa, Billy, a little bit riders right there. Can you get the trick? Big click, 3 table to end the Euro style.
Oh, Billy holding on. Looking pretty solid. Able to get back on the pedals instantly as soon as he lands.
On the last jump. I got my foot stuck under the pedal, unclipping, it just went off.
It's always so funny to hear what's going on inside that helmet when they finish the run. All right, big scrub. Figuring out a way to get that hand on that seat there for Jackson through getting some defensive points there for the toboggan. That's what we call that trick. But then Meeklem's so on point, clicking the combos. That's really going to help his cause right now.
It was pretty interesting to watch, actually. Like, Jackson was definitely focusing on speed, but Billy was like kind of maintaining his distance even though he was not doing racer tricks. So, you know, the higher Billy's going, the further he's falling down, which is going to translate into more momentum off of those landings.
Jackson, I'm sorry, but that knack didn't work. I wonder if they're going to give him some points for that. Oh, yeah. Hey, credit to our cameraman. That was probably the perfect angle for that move.
That's what my soul feels like when I watch that. Look at that smile. Scores are going to come in.
All right, I think Billy's going to be looking pretty good here. There it is.
Yeah, Billy extending his lead.
Or we're going to have Meeklem and Meacham in that next Heat 2 of the semifinals. That's always fun. So Jackson threw out of the competition here today, but he has the 2 fastest times of the day. And you hear him say that, well, at least I got the fastest. Go work on your knack, Jackson. You have no reason to work on your speed because you are on fire right now. Can't wait to see him in slalom tomorrow. It's going to be a great show. Well, our semifinal brackets are set right now. The King, Tuhoto Ariki Penny going up against Ducat. We got Meacham and Meeklem, which is always hard for us. We're going to go Garrett and Billy on that one. I'll just start calling Garrett Rojo. Long-standing nickname for Garrett Meacham, Lil Rojo. Been watching that kid ride since he was barely tall enough to swing his leg over a 26-inch hardtail. Join the chat. Let me know if you want us to call him Garrett, you want us to call him Meacham, or if we should just go with Lil Rojo. Keep the old nickname rolling.
Yeah, we see you out there, Kalani. We love MTB too. We love MTB, just like all you out in the chat. It's nice to see you guys tuning in.
Hey, so we can't forget to talk about the whip-off. This is always a great way. This always falls on the day that I just arrive, and so I get to like really kick things off by showing up and watching some mean whips. Alan, you were judging. What's harder, competing in this, which you've done many times, you've won it, or judging?
I think the hardest part was to watch it. Unfortunately, I was not riding, but judging it was also hard because everybody was absolutely sending it, and it was really hard to pick just a top 3. You know, I'm not a very good picker of favorites, but when it all came down to it, it was pretty obvious in the end. Edgar Brio absolutely getting higher, more sideways, coming back around. He had the absolute full package.
And Vinnie Armstrong, I mean, all night. She's not the tallest rider, and so she doesn't carry as much speed as everybody. She is sprinting into that huge takeoff lip, and she lets all of her weight go to one side of the bike, completely commits to the lean off the lip. She took the win for the women. It's classic.
Did you
notice?
notice?
Whip-off is classic.
I don't know if you noticed in the whip-off how the women do trains every time.
Yeah.
It's because that's how they can get enough speed.
The draft factor, for sure. Put Vinny in the back. Hey, was that your line, Alan?
Yeah, that was downhill practice. It was a little bit mucky, but this was a rider on a hardtail with only 1 brake, if you can believe it or not. Just like that, the triple was on. Yeah, there was a nasty triple that I think you guys probably saw some big quotes there from Sunday.
If you guys have been on the internet for the last week, you probably know the triple he's talking about.
Yeah.
A lot of stuff went down in the downhill race. Alan, you raced.
I rode. I didn't quite make it to the race, unfortunately. Big crash right before, but I'm feeling good. I'm happy to be up here watching. So, you know, what are you going to do?
I'm glad you made it here right now. He picked a fight with a tree, and, you know, that's not usually a good idea.
Trees win every time.
Who's going to win in the Crankworx Rotorua Speed and Style? That's what I'm curious about right now. We're whittling down the field for the men, but also, now that we're down to 4 for the men, we're going to pick up action for the women's field. We got a couple big names in there. The reigning queen of Crankworx, Caroline Buchanan, Shania Rawson, Paula Zabasa. Jordy Scott's back. We've been seeing a lot of Jordy Scott fans in the chat. And Martha Gill. Talk about Martha Gill. You said she's somebody you're really keeping your eye on for queen this year.
Yeah, I was lucky enough to have a chat with her during downhill, actually, in the shuttle. And she's just like focused 100% on this queen. She could taste it a little bit last year. She got some wins. So I think that's really going to be someone to look out for this year in the women's category.
It's just really interesting talking about the queen overall for the 2024 season, because one thing that's different is we have slopestyle. So some riders are really prioritizing slopestyle, one of which is the woman who has been the queen for the past 2 seasons, Caroline Buchanan.
Yeah, she's definitely focused. We've been seeing it on Instagram. She's been pushing in her limits all year long in this offseason. New tricks we're going to see, I guarantee it, this week. But what do we got here on Queen Contenders?
So Harriet Burbage-Smith, she comes from that free ride pedigree, but also BMX race background. She's been getting great results for a long time in the races, so look out for her for queen. Jenna Hastings, Louise Ferguson, Martha Gill is your pick right here. So Jenna and Louise, we're going to see them looking to get their points in the races, as well as Martha Gill. And one thing about Caroline Buchanan, who we're getting a peek of on screen right now, is she's thinking, you know what? This is a big moment for women's freeride, women's slopestyle. She's prioritizing slopestyle, not signing up for as many disciplines as she usually does. She's focusing on the trick game, and she decided, you know what? Speed and style is great practice for slopestyle, so I'm going to get in there and use this as practice. And she is the #1 qualifier out there today. And it's going to be interesting to see if anybody can take this win away from her tonight.
So interesting. Yeah, I guess I'll do it. I'll just qualify first.
I guess I'll do it.
It is how it is. It happens, though, sometimes. You know, you take your mind out of the context of the actual competition, and you just ride, and you can be free, and things happen. And it's so awesome to see that really starting for Caroline here after she's going after Buchanan. She can do it, yeah. Caroline is looking smooth. Okay, gates up. We're going to get these riders ready.
So we're going to have Caroline Buchanan. We've been talking about her on the left side of your screen, going up against Shania Rawson. Now, Shania is a #5 qualifier. She's going to have some work to do to knock out that #1 qualifier. I wonder what tricks Caroline is going to choose in a scenario like this, because this is always tough. You know, do you gamble, go with your big tricks, or you try to play it safe, run the risk of playing it too safe?
Yeah, you know, you want to keep the fire going. You want to keep it simmering, but you also don't want to, like, you know, you don't want to blow out the fire. You don't want to put yourself, you know, behind the ball with an injury or a twisted ankle, or even just something to bump your confidence. You know, mess up a trick that you know you're confident on. But I do agree with what Caroline's doing here. Let's get this season started off. Let's not have all the pressure of slopestyle on your first event.
Good, get the blood flowing as well. Here we go.
Shania Rawson with this huge gate snap. Not too often can you say Caroline gets beat on the start, but she does. Coming around off this first jump, tuck no hander out of Caroline, looking smooth.
I think a non-trick from Shania, if I saw it right.
Yeah, so that's gonna add to her time, unfortunately. Caroline coming around down into the final jump with a bit of an advantage.
Oh, Caroline going for the Superman seat grab, not really getting full extension there, but she will get scored for a no-footed seat grab. She's got her seat running pretty high here on that Take It S slopestyle bike.
It makes me wonder if there's possibly some bar spins in that bag of tricks.
There's a whole lot of cable wrapped underneath that stem.
Yeah, it's cool to see, though, she did that Superman seat grab, because I remember it was here last year. She kind of got a little bit of a struggle on it and fell off maybe once. But yeah, she was able to get it out, get her feet back on the pedals. It's all confidence at this point. The foundation has been poured. Now it's starting to set, and it's going to be a good week for Caroline.
Well, also, once the news came out that there's going to be a women's field in slopestyle, all 4 Crankworx stops, there's going to be equal prize purse. That just lights the fire for you know, off-season training. And obviously Caroline's been putting the work in right here. You see that Superman C grab. That last angle showed a little bit more extension than what we see from this current angle. So it's going to be interesting to see what that scores, but she's obviously been working on her tricks. I know she has a pretty good training facility set up at home in Australia.
Yeah, if the contest was who wanted it more, I think Caroline would be a shoo-in. So hungry, stays so motivated after all of the UCI BMX World titles, you know, all of the different accolades, just always looking around the corner for that next thing, and that slope style this week.
Yeah, great timing for her, right when she's starting to get into tricks because of speed and style. Now she's, you know, at the cutting edge for slope style, popping onto the scene. Jordy Scott back on the World Tour, #3 qualifier today, going up against the #2 qualifier, Martha Gill. Let's see what Martha's speed and style game is looking like this season. We know Jordy's got a lot of tricks up her sleeve. What has Martha been working on?
Yeah, one of the things that these riders could be doing in the offseason is spending time in the foam pit and the airbag to really kind of make their bag of tricks deeper and come out with something that we're not ready for.
We got viewers from all over the world. I see some viewers from Indonesia right now. So right side of your screen, what you're doing is taking a look at your judging panel. They take this pretty seriously. This is a little bit easier to judge, I'd say, than slope style because you do have some foundation set for all of these tricks, and you can add more points or less points depending on the execution of those tricks. We're going to be checking in with Jeff Gulovich periodically throughout the event here. We've got access to talking to him, so once we get into some of those real tight scenarios as we get down into the final rounds, we're really going to be able to put them on the spot and pick their brains.
Here we are taking a look back at that last heat and how Caroline was able to squeak out up front of Shania Rawson. Full extension on that tuck no-hander. And you were right, Cam, that was a no trick there for Shania, so that's going to put her even more on her heels in this second round, looking to move forward. Caroline super smooth and hard to beat through the rhythm section. All her time on BMX comes through in those zones. And then here we see her getting that Superman seat grab out. Martha and Jordy Scott, gate drops. Jordy with a huge gate, also with quite a bit of BMX in her background. Martha keeping her very honest, but here we come to the trick jumps.
Oh no! Jordy just getting one hand off there, obviously going for the tuck no-hander.
Yeah, and it looked like Martha might have had a non-trick. I couldn't tell. She might have got one hand off, but we'll have to look at the replay to see what happened. Really dropping the hammer, though, as far as the power goes.
Oh, man. Jordy trying to pack a couple moves in there. Tire grab.
Oh!
No, Martha down.
That was a sacrifice move right there. Martha saw that she was going to miss the gate, just absolutely turned her wheel sideways to get her bike to go around the gate and crashed across the finish line. So that was actually what she needed to do in that moment. That was rough, but man, that shows her commitment 100%.
That is not a nice bit of ground to fall on across the finish line.
Those flat gates at the bottom are so hectic.
And so tough. Oh, God. Ready to go for
Yeah, she felt that one. That was quite a slam. Look at the riders, absolutely 100% side by side. Let's see if Martha gets a hand off.
Oh, she got both off.
Yeah, they came off a little bit.
Okay, judges, man, oh man, what do they do when both go for a tuck no-hander? One gets bigger extension, but only one hand. The other one gets tiny extension with both hands. What in the world do you do with that? My goodness. Hey, we got another subscriber, Karen Singh. Thank you. So we got Brutal Trudel Chase on the chat asking what it's like in New Zealand. It's beautiful. The dirt is great. I got out there for a ride this morning. It was absolutely spectacular. Love the ride now here in Rotorua. So let's get another look at that crash here, Alan, from Martha. Oh, she clips the gate. Hey, you know what? She's still across the finish line through the lights.
Yeah, it counts. Watch this. She sees starting to miss and just flicks the handlebars and somehow gets the bike to go around. But at the same time, sacrifices the whole right side of her body.
That did not hurt her run whatsoever, though. That's the funniest part. She took one for the team.
That might have been faster, actually. She sort of dove across the finish line.
Hey, in a pinch, you want to perfect that move. That might help you out. I don't know if you want to perfect that move.
Yeah, I think you leave that one in your pocket, maybe. She'll be back. Martha's tough. Speaking of back, awesome to see Jordy Scott back on the Crankworx World Tour. Really hoping to see her at all the stops this year. Coming so close to that Queen's crown a couple of times.
Safe, says Jimmy. Well, here we go. We get a real slow-mo look and see how much extension there was on this from Martha. 2 hands, but a little tiny bit. 1 hand, a lot. I'd say it's the same score. I don't know. I'm not a judge, though.
I'm not a judge either. Yeah, that's a tough one.
Minimum points for a tuck no-hander, whatever that is. Jordy's got pretty deep bag of tricks. It's going to be interesting to see if she dips into that bag tonight. Jordy can go upside down. Come on.
Martha actually making a pretty good recovery there, seeing she was a bit right of that first gate, but was able to make a recovery on the way down. Seeing all you people out there coming to the party, being new subscribers. Hey, we got scores.
Well, Martha crossed the finish line first. We saw that.
So close. My front wheel was super high for the Sui. I was like, oh God, manual landed.
No, you're like made for that. You'd be okay.
The judges took their time with this one.
Should we give Martha extra points for crashing across the line?
Yeah. I actually did a front flip at the end. Was it a back flip?
It's part of the secondary combo, actually.
Really minimal hands off.
Very quality.
Really just got the
What's up, Matt Johnson? He just subscribed. Welcome to the party. A lot of you joining the party here on the live feed. See what we got happening out here. Saludos de todos. We got people from all over the world watching.
All right, well, we're gonna take a look at how the brackets are looking now. Here at Crankworx Rotorua Speed and Style. Caroline Buchanan with the advantage over Shania Rawson. We got Martha Gill actually is leading this one over Jordy Scott. So I don't know, that accidental technique of diving through the timing light appears to be working.
Yeah, as you mentioned, that didn't mess up her run, did it?
Martha, that's some technique getting through that finish line. First question, how are you feeling after that little tumble?
Yeah, I'm surprisingly okay, actually. A little bit stiff, but I'll be all good for some more runs.
Martha, can you walk us through what happened there? It looked like you were going to miss that last gate and basically just sacrifice everything to get your bike around it. Can you tell us what happened?
Yeah, my tuck at the top wasn't so good, and then my Sui wasn't so good either. So I was like, at least try and get the speed points. And yeah, got to that last corner and I was like, oh God, I'm not sure I'm going to make it, but just threw all the body weight to try and make it happen.
Good stuff. Well, it's great to see you competing out here in speed and style. You actually have the advantage on that run, which is not something we typically see when there's a crash in the run. But you know, you crashed at the right place, so way to go. And we can't wait to see what happens in run number 2.
Thank you.
Good luck. Well, that's what things are looking like after run number 1 for the women. Let's take a look at where we stand now with the men, Alan.
We have Tuhoto and Ducat in the first round. Our number 9 and number 13 qualifier, Ducat, kind of a new fresh face. And Tuhoto, you know, not really seeing him this far advancing into the speed and style, so it should be interesting. It's going to be a good one. We get to see it kick off right here. Tuhoto getting valuable points.
Okay, riders, random start. Riders ready, watch the gate.
Mark and Tuhoto out of the gate. Both riders clean around the first turn. Tuhoto with a slight advantage on time.
Oh, yeah.
And you see that Mark Ducat, he was so high in the air on that 360. But Tuhoto just pulling away.
Man, Tuhoto is riding so fast. He's got so much conviction over his trick over jump 1. A little bit of a squirrely tuck no-hander from Tohoto and a backflip from Ducat. Over a second advantage there just when it comes to speed in favor of Tohoto. Yeah, I definitely looking forward to a replay of jump number 1 for Tohoto because I feel like he did such a great job of, you know, taking 2 tricks that he can do, putting them together, and it's really tough knowing that the person next to you has the ability to spin, but that's what you do is you go as fast as you can and you try to do the best of what you got.
Yeah, Tohoto on paper, the underdog in this round, but really showing his capabilities and how focused he is on this king title that he is defending this year here. Goes huge on that final jump, all the way to the bottom. Watch where he lands. Gets his hands off, not quite full extension, but man, he has to get the landing gear out. Going deep. And then straight back on the pedals around those flat turns. Ducat with an absolutely perfect backflip. When both tires land at the same time on a backflip, that's perfection.
And it's easy to forget, you know? You see so many backflip variations, but there's something about taking a trick and just executing it for what it is to perfection. And it's harder than you'd think to put both tires down at the same time on a flip. So trick scores coming in. Tohoto Arikipene, the reigning king, is going to have that advantage over Ducat. Well done there for Tohoto.
So Ducat making up some of the time there with his trick roster, but not quite enough. He's going to have .225 to make up in this next round.
Which is a pretty, I mean, that's a pretty strong advantage there for Tohoto. Let's see.
We got 14% of our subscriber goal. Get on it, people. Let's do it. We got to get 250 subscribers on this. That's 200, yeah, 250.
Man, I like what I wish my channel was growing.
Oh, there we just
fast.
got another one.
Red Bull Bike, YouTube, killing it. Somebody who's been killing it in speed and style is Garrett Meacham. He's the number 3 qualifier. He won 2 stops last year. He's going up against the number 2 qualifier, Billy Meeklum. This is going to be a really good matchup.
We see Garrett coming around first. Backflip bar spin to can-can. Meacham going huge right next to him, trying to catch up on speed. And this is where they're going to tighten up. That inside line will get them side by side right there coming into this final jump.
Meacham, Meeklum, Meacham, Meeklum.
Oh, Garrett with another quadruple combo. I could only see one at a time. And Meeklum, winner on speed right there.
I mean, these are 2 just speed and style specialists right here. To see them going up against each other, this is what this discipline is all about right now. There's a lot to take in right here. All these combinations on these 360s. Leaning on style there on the right side of your screen, Meeklum and Garrett Meacham really going for the combos. 360 bar spin to X up to 1 foot can. Pulling the flag down on that, but his tires look to be on the appropriate side of that gate. Yeah, this one's too close to call.
Yeah, man, Billy looking so clean through that flat corner section there at the bottom. Probably the cleanest I've seen anybody do it. He wasn't pushing it, he wasn't pedaling super hard. He was just like tiptoeing ever so slightly through there, and he was able to maintain traction and actually, I think, passed Garrett right through that section.
Oh, there we go.
It's really, I know. That's what I'm saying.
I mean, this right here, I mean, this is just the way it works with this discipline is you have these matchups that aren't the final 2 that could easily be a gold and silver matchup any day.
We were cooking, dude.
Okay, so Jeff Gulovich hanging out with the judges right now. How's the judging going down there for you guys? And what are you weighing stronger when you got to run like Garrett Meacham going up against Billy Meeklum, where you got just combo galore out of Garrett and then just style galore out of Meeklum? What are you weighing stronger on right now?
Well, honestly, like it's sort of disappointing because those 2 together should be a final. Those guys are dynamite. Watching that race had us all on the edge of our seats, and it was literally just probably one extra move that little Rojo was throwing in there that really set the difference. And those guys are both just such dynamic riders. Watching those guys toe-to-toe with that speed and those capabilities, it was electrifying, man. I can't believe we're not hearing more noise from the audience here.
Oh, we got to get them going. It only showed up for a second, but I believe Garrett has the advantage going into their second round. Is that right?
Yes, that is correct.
All right, good stuff. That quadruple combo is going to do it. We're going to keep on bugging you. Is that cool?
I'm here all day. I'm not going anywhere.
All right, cool. We're going to keep periodically checking in with you.
Right on. Thanks, Cam.
Thanks a lot, Gully.
So how's that, Cam? He's just not quite doing enough, but it's a triple combo.
Jeez.
Shows you that level of riding we have here in Rotorua.
Yeah,
Checking the women's brackets. What do we got?
Well, we got your reigning queen of Crankworx, who has an advantage right now coming in to run 2 of these semifinals. She's going up against Shania Rawson. And then we have Martha Gill, who swan dove through the timing lights at the bottom of the course, going up against Jordy Scott. That was pretty tight. Less than a second separating them going into their second run. But Caroline Buchanan, those bright yellow colors right now. Let's see if she can get some good extension on that Superman C grab, or if she will play it safe. She has a 2.6 second advantage over Shania Rawson.
Awesome start out of Shania right there. Keeping Caroline very, very honest. Shania with a slight lead on time as they come through. Oh, and Caroline gets a nice tuck no-hander off. Coming through, she pulls up right next to Shania. And here's where things are going to switch. They're going to rocket out of this final turn into the Showtime booter. Let's see what we got here, Cam.
Oh, yeah, I think more extension on that Superman C grab there from Caroline Buchanan. Oh, a little late on those gates, but she manages not to miss any. She crosses the finish line first there. Caroline Buchanan.
Okay, let's talk about the difficulty of doing a Superman C grab in a situation like this. When you're getting back on the bike, there is a period of time where both of your feet and one of your hands are not touching the bike. So you really are only holding on with one hand. And she's not only just getting back on, she's getting back on and getting back on it, straight on the pedals and around those flat turns.
It's so true. Like, if I'm ever trying to decide if I'm going to do a Superman or a Superman C grab, my cop-out move is the Superman, so I don't have to add that element of putting my hand on the seat. So for her to go for the actual full gusto with the Superman C grab, considering there's still so much more racing to go with those flat corners, I feel like the judges are going to take that into account. This angle right here on the Superman C grab really shows how she's getting those legs behind her. That's how she's going to score more of the maximum allowed points for that Superman C grab. The separation between her body and bike, plus how horizontal the body gets. So she's definitely going to make up a lot right there. We saw Shania not get a trick alongside. Caroline Buchanan doing everything she needs to do right now, adding to the lead she already had in run number 1.
Those Superman C grabs are such a mind game. You have to commit 100% because the thing that actually makes you come back on your bike is when you reach your max extension. You snap back on the bike. So if you don't commit, you're not coming back.
So true. It's kind of an all or nothing, all or things are going to be harder situation. Martha Gill and Jordy Scott, number 2 and number 3 qualifiers. Martha Gill has the advantage just under a second. Will Jordy Scott dig deeper into that trick bag?
Yeah, we heard Martha talk about she was not happy with her extensions there again, having a hard time. But Jordy coming clean.
Jordy got great extension on that tuck no-hander here in run number 2.
We've got Martha was talking about having to rely on speed last time. Let's see what she can get here. Still having another hard time on that jump. So Jordy is ahead on time.
Okay.
She got some good tricks off. So this is going to be super, super tight when everything comes together.
I don't know about that gate, Alan. Did you see that?
I wasn't paying too much attention, but I think it was just a pedal that knocked it off. It's the tires that count.
I hope
I
so.
did nothing.
But we'll have a replay.
Absolutely nothing.
For
it's funny
sure.
when she says, I did nothing, because a nothing is a trick. So if she did do that, she would be scoring high. She's referring to not getting her hands off in that tuck no-handed attempt. That's going to hurt her. As Jordy got great extension on the tuck no-hander there. What was the story here? Oh, okay. Jordy got a little bit of a tire grab to X up. We're going to have a better angle here.
And which gate is it you were wanting to look at here on
Take a
Jordy?
look. I'm pretty sure it's the last gate on the black course here, Jordy Scott.
Okay, watch the tires. Did the tires go around?
Oh, she's good.
Tires go around.
No problem. You're right. That was a pedal.
Yeah, they can go into it. The pedals can hit it.
Oh, no way. Okay, we're going to need to see that
Can we
again.
talk to the judges? Does a one-hander lander count there?
Jordy Scott on the black course there landed with one hand on the handlebar as she was trying to squeeze in those tricks.
What a recovery, playing patty cake with that left hand. Keep an eye on this left hand.
All
Tire.
Right. Oh, she's going for the toboggan. Here we go.
Oh, and
she
missed her
lands.
fingers, bounces off, goes under.
She's still getting it on.
And then grabs on and makes it around these flat turns like nothing happened.
That was an insane display of improvisational skills and staying cool under pressure. Let's hear what she's saying. So there we go. Hey, you know what? Martha kept it close. She really did. Jordy Scott into the next round, which is kind of an important round if you consider it's the final round. And you're going to be going up against Caroline Buchanan. No big deal.
Yeah, unfortunately, missing those tricks is just too much to have to overcome for Martha Gill. Looking at the men's bracket here. Tuhoto with the advantage. Nice to see him in these semi-rounds.
Jeez, both of those are really tight races.
Yeah, anyone's game. Both riders in both heats are very similar on speed and style.
Well, can the reigning king, Tuhoto Ariki Pene, on home turf here in front of friends and family, make it into the gold medal matchup here in speed and style? He's got an advantage of 0.225 over Mark Ducat.
Solid gate out of Tuhoto. You can tell he's been over there at the UCI BMX facility here. Tuhoto with excellent extension on that tuck no-hander to toboggan, mixing his tricks up, getting those combos. Look how fast he comes out of that turn.
Tuhoto looks so strong right now. He's been training so hard in the offseason. Nice! Great extension there, the tuck no-hander and the X-up for Tuhoto. A backflip for Ducat. Clean through the gates for both riders here. That was quite a display of skill there from Tuhoto.
Look at the comment up there. Pragnato's noticing the times are going faster. They are getting faster, absolutely. And that's what happens. This race is such a game of building your speed. You can't overdo it too soon. You got to build each run a little bit faster, a little bit faster. And that's awesome as the crowd's seeing that even on the broadcast.
I would say every competitor in the men's field in all disciplines need to look out for Tuhoto this year. I would say World Cup needs to look out for Tuhoto this season. This guy is riding a wave of momentum from last year, and he's looking so strong.
Yeah, riding for intense this year. It's nice when you get on something new and you just have a change in your program and everything just feels fresh again. It can be that match that lights that fire to really get a season going, and I think that's what we're seeing here from Tuhoto.
Here we go. Let's see here. The tuck no-hander. Let's see if he gets all the way around on the X-up. Yep. Got to get that front wheel and those handlebars completely 180 to get full points for that being categorized as an X-up.
Look how much fun Mark is having. That smile across the finish line. I love that.
How can you not have fun with those sunglasses on?
That's a good point.
Speed and style.
Speed and steez.
I don't know. I think those sunglasses are faster than they are stylish, though. That's pretty aerodynamic.
That's a good point.
Some fast shades you got there, Mark. All right, that's what I'm talking about when the crowd gets behind their boy right there, Tuhoto Ariki Pene, advancing into the gold medal matchup.
Starting to see some predictions in the live feed. So we got some people voting Tuhoto for the win, but they're going to have to get through this matchup first.
It doesn't matter which one of these you go up against. It's the same scenario. So fast, so many tricks is the way you could describe both Billy Meeklem and Garrett Meacham. Right now, Garrett Meacham is the one with the advantage. Just a small advantage, 0.147.
You got flips?
At this point,
not on these jumps.
listen.
No.
You know what that means on other jumps?
It means yes.
Yes, the answer is yes. He's like, ooh, I got him. I want to pull him out. All
Garrett
right.
with a huge gate start. Coming into this first jump, Billy going fast. Watch this amplitude out of Billy.
Oh, so clean.
Truck to X out of Billy. Garrett looking really good. Was that a
backflip bar to one foot can?
Okay.
So Garrett's in a situation where he needs to get his quadruple combos.
Billy keeping it steezy. Coming into these flat turns, both riders side by side. 0.198.
Okay,
That's nothing. That's a blink of an eye.
It was a point. It was such a small advantage coming into this.
Did I make it?
Billy crossed the line first. Garrett had the advantage. Garrett scored higher on jump number 1.
Go see
Jump
Doe.
number 2. Did we see the, here we go, backflip bars in a 1-footed can. So clean, great extension on that first jump there for Garrett Meacham.
Both riders straight back on the pedals, getting like 4 or 5 full pedals in down the landing of the jump.
Oh, the truck to X from Billy. I mean, you can watch that in slow motion all day. There's like nothing to find fault with in either of these riders on either of these 2 jumps. Maybe this 1-footed can could have been bigger right side of screen here for Garrett. It gets over the top too, Bill.
Yeah, it counts. Billy maybe a little front end high and lost a little momentum. You can see here coming through the flat turns, Garrett makes up about a 1/10 of a second. It's about a full bike length there when they come across the finish line.
I mean, Garrett's bike, that suspension's nice to have in those flat corners.
Why would that be, Cam? What is that suspension going to do for him in those turns?
Stick those tires to the ground right there. More traction, more control, less likely to miss those gates. You hear him say he barely made it.
Yeah, both riders on the absolute edge.
Oh, look at Billy. I really don't know which way this one's going to go. And that's what we love about speed and style.
Big shout out to Billy having a big injury a couple years ago. I think it was a broken pelvis.
Yeah.
Long road back, but man, he's looking good out here.
Sometimes people come back stronger, and it's so great to see. Oh, you're right, Garrett. You barely made that. I think he made it. What do you think?
From here, I think he made it, but I was the front tire. Maybe that was a little more in question.
Front tire was good. All right, let's take this opportunity to check it out again.
No, but watch Billy coming out of the last one.
Okay.
Instead of Garrett. I think Garrett's clean.
Okay,
Billy's
so we're just looking at. Oh, we're just looking at Billy. Oh, I got you. Yeah, that's an escape for sure.
Yeah.
Oh man.
But Garrett almost missed one, which would have been.
The judges are stoked right now that both didn't miss one.
That wasn't it. That literally made me a better bike rider for sure, dude.
As if you need to be a better bike rider. It's like, where do you stop, Garrett? The progression non-stop since you were 4 feet tall, and I love to see it.
I mean, that just
slow-mos look awesome. I agree, Christian Barney. Couldn't have said it better myself.
That comment out of Rojo, you know, that shows me that he is someone to be really, really concerned about this year, because he's turning adversity into a positive. He had a hard run, but he's like, you know what, I'm better for it at the bottom. His head's in the right spot. I think he's had a pretty good offseason. He's fit, he's ready.
It's so hard when you're like
super strong between the ears right now. All right, judges doing their thing. I mean, it doesn't matter what we think, Alan, but we can voice our opinions. We kind of both agree that we think Billy missed that last gate, right?
Yeah, I think he started to go right over the top of it, and his wheel definitely went on the other side. But again, it's the judges. Let's see what we had right here.
Dude, I was
Boom,
sliding.
right there.
Dude, are you going no brakes through it too? Yeah. Yeah, we're literally going no brakes. And you're just trust.
The only you turn your brake towards the first side.
Yes, that's it.
How fun is it listening to their banter?
It is completely
Yeah,
different.
it's cool. They are
Yeah,
definitely
like the
pushing
inside's
it.
the good line now.
The inside's mint. Outside's way too fast.
Bro, I'm literally braking from like before the roller all the way in, like doing a little skid too, like.
Yeah, these flat, dry turns with the hard pressure that they put in those tires is not a very good combo.
I was in that.
That's the crazy thing is you need the high pressure so you don't fold on the lips under all that G-force. So as we expected, Garrett Meacham moving into the gold medal matchup. He will face up against Tuhoto Arikipene.
Let's go.
So there it is. Garrett Meacham taking that number 3 qualifying position into the gold medal matchup. Tuhoto, the 9th qualification into the gold medal round, and then it's going to be Billy Meacham and Mark Ducat in the bronze medal matchup.
We see Mateo Brown in the chat. He likes us recognizing the chat. If you like us recognizing the chat, why don't you go subscribe? We got targets here. We want subscribers.
And say something funny, because I love that. Say something funny. Hey, Garrett, I first of all just have to say, it looks like you had a great offseason. You're riding incredibly strong. I don't know if you know this, but we're like also listening into everything you say in the finish line. It sounds like you're super strong between the ears right now as well. How was your offseason?
It was good. It felt a little longer than I wished. I was like kind of ready to go about a month ago. Just bored at home, raining and stuff. I wanted to get the hell out of there, but we put in some work this offseason. My trainer, Randy Lawrence, hopefully he's watching this. He put me through the ringer.
No way. Okay, like you said we. I was like, oh, he's doing the Supercross thing where he talks about himself as we, but you actually have Randy Lawrence as your trainer. That is really cool. I didn't know that. It shows, man. You're looking so strong.
Sweet. Yeah. Thank you, Cam. It's crazy out here.
Yeah, what do you kind of contribute the course, you know, where on the course is your highlight? What are you focusing on going into these gold medal matchups?
Obviously the tricks, like if you do bigger moves, you can get more time off, but you just have to be like fluid, especially I'm going against Tehoto, and you know how fast that dude is. He's on rails, dude.
Is Tehoto's speed going to have you digging a little deeper into that bag of tricks? Because we know you got some big moves.
I think so. I got to use old quads down here to get going, I think. I don't know, maybe try to put it in 4th gear.
Well, we're pretty excited. I mean, I'm not going anywhere. We got Tehoto and Garrett Meacham coming up. Best of luck for you out there the rest of the day.
Sweet, thanks, guys.
That is going to be good, Alan. I can't wait. All right, that's going to be insane. So let's look at the women's brackets because that's also going to be insane. Caroline Buchanan, the #1 qualifier, going up against Jordy Scott. Talking about people who can flip. Those are a couple of them. We got Shania Rawson and Martha Gill in the bronze medal matchup. You're asking Garrett if he's going to dig deeper into his trick bag in the gold medal matchup. Who do you think is going to dig deeper in the women's field?
I think they all are, to be honest. I think, you know, the season's just getting started off, and momentum is a serious thing. And to walk away with here, not only on the podium, but with a win, it's going to take definitely pushing some limits, and I think they all want it.
Ooh, this is going to be good right here.
This is our bronze medal matchup between Shania Rawson and Martha Gill, #5 and #2 qualifiers. Martha with a solid gate. We saw her go down earlier in the brackets, able to rebound, get back on her bike. Let's see if she can get those hands off. Nice, she got them off when it counted here in the bronze medal. Shania keeping her very, very honest, coming down here through the rhythm section, actually making a pass. Coming into this final jump. Martha able to get that suicide no-hander off, so she's able to get those tricks out that she was having a hard time earlier. So using this bronze medal matchup not only to go for a medal, but actually to better her riding.
Father of 2 maniacs, saying he loves riding with his 2 sons. They're waiting for the snow to melt in New York. I hear you. It's been a long winter for a lot of us in North America. It's exciting to be down here in the Southern Hemisphere and seeing this beautiful dirt, the sun shining, and high-level competition out here. Shania Rawson and Martha Gill going hard in their first run of this bronze medal matchup, struggling to get the tricks.
Yeah, it was better than before. This is, I think, probably the best trick for Martha. She's getting better as the day's going on, gets that full hands off, not just the fingers opening up, but really getting an extension on there. So she's getting better, she's improving as this contest is going on. So, you know she wants that bronze medal too. Pinches the seat with her knees, successfully gets her hands off and back on. That's also important.
When your competitor does not get a trick, getting those hands off even the slightest amount away from the handlebars is everything, because not only did you just play defense and not get time added on, you're gonna get a little bit of time taken off. And where else on a short race course like this are you gonna be able to find that much time? It's hard to do in the corners, but on those jumps, unlike any other format we have in mountain biking, you can save some time by just taking those hands off a little bit. So Martha crossing the finish line first and getting some benefits from those jump scores. She's going to be the leader in run #2. All right, Brox, I love the fact that you're kind of ditching a little bit of work obligations to join us here on the Red Bull Bike YouTube channel. Thanks for joining the chat. We got another run loaded up into the gate here, Alan.
Yeah, this is going to be our men's bronze medal matchup. Nothing but fun out here. Billy loading up in the gate there.
All right. Bronze medal matchup for the men. Mark Ducat here with the fast shades. And Billy Meeklum looking strong all day. Billy, the number 2 qualifier. Let's see if he can grab a bronze medal here. He's going to need 2 smooth runs against Ducat.
Yeah, Billy killing it all day. Let's see if he can keep his amplitude going. Probably one of the higher jumps. Look at that amplitude. About 12 feet over the lip, doing a 360 bar spin, 2 X-up, 3 tricks in 1 jump while racing. That's the things that come together with speed and style. Coming down to the Showtime booter. And there it is, that 360 invert to Euro. And unbelievably smooth there.
I mean, Billy just kind of has it on lock right now. He's been doing that same run all day, and he's got it so dialed in. It's almost just his to lose right now. You know, as long as he can avoid having a mistake right now, he just put a pretty good advantage in run number 1 here. It all calculates down to a 2.15 advantage over Mark Ducat. Yeah, this bronze medal is definitely Billy's to lose here. He needs 1 more clean run.
Yeah, unbelievably smooth run there out of Billy on the tricks.
I would say that's Mark's best 3 table of the day, though.
Yeah, both riders improving throughout the day. That's how you have to do it. We talked about the riders getting faster, but their tricks, extension, and height and everything is getting better too. Yes, you are absolutely right. Completely inverted.
The difference between that one and some of the ones previous, like that one would make a cover photo worthy 3 table. They have really similar style with their 3 tables as well, these 2 riders. Straight backflip from Ducat here is obviously going to score a little bit lower than a 360 table with afterbank stees right here. My favorite angle, bam. Table, in.
And Billy just having some extra level of patience through these flat turns. He's looking so smooth and so clean, where a lot of other riders are struggling.
Except for that last lap.
Except for the last lap.
Well, he learned his lesson. He's clean again. We are really racking up the tight, slow-mo Billy Meeklum shots today.
I'm not mad.
Oh, hey, you know what? Should bring this up again. I don't know, some people might have joined us a little late in the broadcast. You're watching on the Red Bull Bike YouTube channel. I am holding in my hand right now a nice piece of collectible merchandise. See these autographs right here? These are the first women to ever compete in a Crankworx slopestyle event. That's going to happen on Sunday. It's the first time we've added a women's category to the Crankworx FMBA Slopestyle World Championship. Keep commenting. They're going to pick somebody to win this shirt. And, you know, in 10 years from now, when that discipline advances so much, you're going to be like, hey, check this out. This is pretty iconic.
Yeah, that's definitely a future Hall of Famer shirt. I think we'll see that on the wall somewhere at some point.
I mean, this is stop number 1. This is a very young season here for 2024 that we have ahead of us. We're down here floating in the middle of the ocean in the Southern Hemisphere. We're going to go home wherever that may be for everybody, and then we're going to come back down to the Southern Hemisphere in May. We're going to go to Cairns, Australia, beautiful rainforest, the Great Barrier Reef, and then let's go to the Alps. This is a world tour. That's why we're doing it all over the world. You get the point? We're going to be in Innsbruck, Austria, and then it just makes sense to go back to the birthplace of Crankworx, beautiful Whistler, British Columbia, the world's most famous bike park. I mean, that's the way to do it. That's why we do it that way.
Holy ground, Valhalla, the place to be. It's where you want to be. In the summertime, it's Whistler.
We got New Zealand, we got the Great Barrier Reef, we got the Alps, and we got Whistler. We're killing it.
Looking at Caroline's tire choice there, going a lot more aggressive as far as speed is concerned. Not a lot of big knobbies on there, going to have a lot of high pressure.
Man, those tires in those flat corners, you got to be a real good bike rider to pull that off. All right, both of these riders are going to have to push it as hard as they can right now because these are the 2 fastest and best in the game out here today, Caroline Buchanan and Jordy Scott.
Both riders getting full extension on the tuck no-hander. Caroline squeaking just another bike length ahead. Beating her on time. They're going to get a lot tighter right here as Jordy has the inside line coming into the Showtime booter. Here they come off the jump. Oh! And it looked like Caroline bobbled back on that Superman seat grab a little bit. Able to get her feet on.
Caroline's going for the Indian air, for sure. And what I mean by that is she's doing that Superman seat grab and she's wanting to cross her legs. She'd score a little bit higher for that. And so this being the gold medal matchup is obviously the right time to do it. Caroline, despite slipping those pedals on the final jump, she was able to cross that finish line first. Great extension for both riders on those tuck no-handers. I feel like those are probably going to score about the same.
Yeah, definitely. Both of those full extension on the tuck no-handers. They came in nice and smooth, elbows straight, shoulders up in the air.
Jordy might have got a little bit more extension. I mean, now we got the slow-mo.
Yeah, I think you might be right. Coming into this final one, we see, I did see that left leg start to kick over there. She was going for that Indian air.
Watch this. Right side of your screen here, the hips rotate a little bit. She's wanting to cross those legs and get some more points. She didn't quite get it, but you can see it in the body language. That's what she's going for. And the combo there out of Jordy. Who's going to have the advantage on this one? What's that?
Yeah, I think you're right about them being pretty equal on the top. You know, I think maybe Jordy with that combo, if those two tricks can add up to even out what the judges are going to end up giving Caroline for that Superman
All right,
grab. We'll see.
In the comments, who's doing it best? Who's doing these slow-mo close-ups best? Billy Meeklum or Caroline Buchanan? The drama. Oh, the drama. Caroline Buchanan, the leader after run number one. She's got a 0.85 advantage over Jordy Scott. All right, we will get them back up to the top of the course, switch sides. And we are getting now down to the nitty-gritty. Time to give away some hardware. Okay. All right, run number one here, the gold medal matchup for the men. Tuhoto Ariki-Penny, left side of your screen, Garrett Meacham. Right side of your screen, the winner of 2 speed and style events in last year's season. Didn't finish outside the top 4 in any of the 4 stops. He's the number 3 qualifier today. And you know what? Tuhoto is just going to have to do what he's been doing. Doesn't have as deep of a trick bag to dig into. However, we did hear that he does have backflips, just not on these jumps. It's the start of a long season. I don't know if he's willing to wing that at this point. But Garrett is doing those 4-part combos. I wonder if he's going to try to dumb down those tricks a little bit and focus a little bit more on trying to stay as close to Tuhoto as he can.
Yeah, I think Tuhoto's about to explode out of this gate here. Let's see what he's got. Definitely going to be focusing on speed. Gate drops down. You can see the power go straight down through the pedals. Both riders about side by side.
Oh, almost a little off there for Tuhoto.
And Garrett sticking to that backflip bar spin to can-can.
He gets right on the pedals after that trick.
He knows he needs to be pushing as hard as he can. Pulls up right alongside of Tuhoto.
Oh, the truck to X, smart there for Garrett. Who's going to cross the finish line first? So close. Garrett through the line first by just 0.085. Insanely tight there.
Yeah, Garrett was pushing super, super hard going into that final jump. We've seen him do things like corked 7s on final jumps like that, but I think that you're right, that was a smart move to sort of go to that triple combo. Is it a layup if it's a triple combo? That's still insane, right?
Yeah.
That was definitely the better choice at the speed he was going.
Man, I can't wait to see Garrett in slalom tomorrow if he signs up. I would imagine he would, because to cross the finish line faster than Tuhoto right now, even though he's doing bigger tricks and popping, you know, well, let's see if he is popping higher. Yeah, he's popping a little bit higher, but he's upside down doing a backflip and a bar spin and a one-footed can-can. Watch how many pedals he gets in after this jump. He has such easy gearing. It's insane how many strokes he gets in every opportunity.
There's that 360 bar spin to X up out of Garrett, the triple combo. versus the tuck no-hander out of Tuhoto. Yeah, he gets the X up in there.
And he gets
fully cranked.
Yep. Like full X on that.
A little bit nose heavy though, and that kind of set his weight a little bit forward. But he definitely kept Garrett completely honest through these flat turns.
Fragnado weighing in here saying they're pulling for Tuhoto, but got to give it to Garrett. He smashed that run. I would agree. Oh my goodness. Garrett has been smashing the trick scores all day. There we go. Sure. Garrett is going to have a 1.485 advantage. Hey, Gully, I want to check in with you a little bit. I want to talk about the difference between getting half of an X up and getting full X up. I'm watching Tuhoto just make sure that, even though he doesn't have the hardest tricks, he's making them count. Are you guys rewarding for that?
Absolutely. He's definitely learning the game very quickly. He knows the combinations score really well in addition to his speed. And just seeing Lil Rojo step it up that little bit, we saw that he missed his can on the second jump there, but he's still putting together 3 trick combos, which is amazing. But Toto's like right on his tail, so anything can really happen in the big final here.
Well, good stuff. No pressure. You guys better get it right here. We're going to be giving away some hardware in moments. Thanks for weighing in.
Pleasure.
Back up to the top of the course right now. Friendly competition between these two riders. A little knuckles before the gate drops. Martha Gill, left side of your screen. Shania Rawson on the right. Martha Gill, the number 2 qualifier. She's got over 2 seconds advantage now over Rawson.
Yeah, Rawson down about 2 seconds. Gets the start right there and is technically on what would be considered maybe a little bit faster lane. So she's not out of it yet. There is a chance. Let's see what happens on these tricks.
Ooh, Martha missing.
Both riders with no trick. So they're even here. It's all about speed so far. Let's see if Shania can pull out of this turn and get enough drive down this straightaway to make up that time.
Oh.
Both riders a little bit of a dead sailor and dead heaving. Oh, and Shania almost misses that last turn and has to check up on the brakes.
So Martha crossing that finish line first, getting one hand a little bit off on the second jump. You gotta think she's looking pretty good now for taking that bronze medal. We're gonna savor these replays before we get the final word.
Yeah, it's interesting, Martha having such a hard time getting those tricks off. Makes you wonder, what the off season was like if she was able to get into foam pits, get into those airbags if they can. A lot to be done in these off seasons. She does get that handoff a little bit there, so she's getting some points there.
Oh, we see the Gladiators making their way back up to the top of the course. Tuhoto and Garrett on the shuttle ride right there. One more lap of the day to figure out who's going to grab that gold medal, who's going to grab that silver. Right now, we're waiting an official word on who's going to grab the bronze for the women. You see left side of your screen, Martha gets that one. Oh, both hands off just by a touch.
Making it happen.
A bit of defense, avoiding getting a time penalty with time added on. Martha with a pretty strong advantage already coming into this second run. Oh, like Shania may have missed that final gate. Pretty close.
Riders watching the replay, a lot of times you don't know what happened on your way down, and you pick up things by watching the replays, or you realize what went wrong by watching the replays. I think Shania's probably watching her back tire go over that last one. Did I make it in?
Hey, I was like, oh, let's not tell anybody. So, official word coming in. The scores are in. Bronze medal goes to Martha Gill, grabbing those valuable points to start the season. I know you've been saying it all day. You've got your eye on her for that Queen leaderboard.
Yeah, Martha would have been in the Tanifa downhill as well as the air DH, so she's racking up all the points she can.
Okay, bronze medal matchup. We got Emerson Wilkin up there helping out with the event, course marshal. He looks official anyway. He's got a radio. That's awesome. All right, we got bronze medal matchup for the men loading up into the gate. Billy Meeklum has the advantage. We got the fast shades of Mark Ducat.
I love it.
He would love to score that bronze medal, but Billy Meeklum, with the exception of missing that gate earlier against Garrett Meacham, he's been flawless all day. You know, that one mistake has found him in the bronze medal matchup instead of the gold. Here we go.
Both riders clean down the first straight, coming around to this first jump. Billy boosting to the moon with the 360 bar spin to X up, so still getting those triple combos. Did you see that entrance?
Yes.
Into the rhythm out of Billy? Wow.
What in the world?
Billy looking faster and faster here. So smooth.
Oh, he misses the little after bang, but still able to point it through those gates. Oh, Mark having a bunny hop over one. I mean, that pretty much solidifies it right there. Billy Meeklum. We'll wait on official word, but most likely he's going to be adding a bronze medal to his trophy case. And like you said earlier, Alan, it's so great to see after that big injury he had a while ago, you know, fully back on form.
Yeah, fully back on form, absolutely, and having fun while doing it. Billy looking good, and you can tell he's feeling good. We talked about it when he went into the rhythm section a little bit earlier. Let's see if we can see it. It's right after this first trick jump where he gets a good, solid 360 bar spin, 2X up, and gets straight back on the pedals. But this entrance that he had.
Dude, kind of pre-hop in or something?
Into
Let's
this.
see.
Watch the nose.
Oh,
his nose
yes,
is into the back
manual.
tire right there. That's so subtle, but that is so technical. And to be able to do it and pull away after doing a trick, it's everything you need in speed and style.
It's like watching Supercross. There's so many different ways to handle a rhythm section, and when you can get creative and find a way through that's just gonna add a little bit of speed, you know, it all pays off. Now, Billy Meeklum, look out. Speed and Style 2024. He's going to be a force to reckon with. So Billy, the #2 qualifier coming into today's event. Is he going to grab this bronze medal right now? We are moments away from finding out. It's almost pretty obvious. It looked like we had a missed gate and a non-trick on the last jump for Mark Ducat. But it is official. Billy Meeklum grabs the bronze medal in today's Crankworx Rotorua Speed and Style.
Well-deserved big day out there for Billy. I think qualifying was maybe at 9 o'clock this morning. These riders have been on and off this course all day long.
How fun would it be to watch a couple gold medal matchups right now?
It'd be super fun.
We should do that.
Okay.
All right, let's do it. Gold medal matchup right now. Caroline Buchanan looking so focused in the gate. She's going up against Jordy Scott. Let's take a look back at run #1. So if we think back, we saw hints that Caroline is looking to dig deeper into that trick bag on that second jump.
Yeah, both riders super equal on the first trick jump as well as time. And really coming down to this last one, Caroline able to save it right there. But Jordy having that combo, able to stack those points on top of each other.
Yeah, Jordy going for that tire grab to X up. We saw her not get the hand back on, but still able to keep the bike on 2 tires in an earlier round. Caroline has a .859 advantage over Jordy Scott. Let's see if Caroline can get that Superman C-Crab Indian Air on the last jump. It's gonna be good.
Caroline with a solid gate. You don't see Jordy Scott getting snapped out of the gate like that too often, so you know it was a good one out of Caroline. Coming in, let's see what these riders do. Both riders getting the tuck no-handers. Looking really smooth, side by side. Caroline, you can see she's relaxed. She's jumping through the rhythm sections, just letting it come to her.
Here we go. Oh, the biggest extension on that Superman C-Crab that we've seen all day out of Caroline Buchanan. She makes it through the gates. Wow, really tight through the gates there. Only .17 separating the two of them. Caroline adds it to her advantage that she had from run #1. Scoring 110 points for that Superman C-Crab.
Yeah, I think you were right there, Cam. That was probably the best extension we've seen on that trick for her tonight. She came up a little bit front end high and got a little bit off balance, but was able to make a really good correction. That is going to be in the bag for the rest of the week. She can take that confidence onto slopestyle and the rest of the events. But here we see the riders pulling side by side coming through the rhythm.
Yeah, you know, in full speed, I was thinking those tuck-no handers were identical. And now we get to savor it in slow motion and really see the big picture. Ah, yeah, identical. It's almost like, look at this, they almost landed at the same time as well. That was fully synchronized swimming on bikes. Here we go, this is my favorite angle of the day. Superman sea grab.
There it was. You saw those knees get completely full extension.
Watch this.
And that's when it snaps right back there. That is that momentum you need to get back on the bike. She had one foot not quite on the pedal, but luckily that was the inside foot for the next turn and it worked out.
Take a screen grab, put it on your wall. That was a huge Superman seat grab. She also, let's see, I don't think she got perfect pedals, and she was somehow able to steer this thing back toward those flat corners. I guess, you know, just said, oh, I guess I'm just setting up wide now.
You know, after looking at it in slow-mo, I don't think she slipped the pedal. I think she took the foot off because she needed to lean in that way.
True.
That was insane.
I think you're right. That is so rad.
Insane.
Superwoman seat grab. Well, what do we got? A gold medal for Caroline Buchanan, rewarded for digging deep, getting that Superman seat grab, and Jordy Scott secures the silver. Way to go, what a show.
We see over there on the left-hand side of the screen, Caroline with the top 4 high scores of the day. So really coming into this season where she left off, the 2-time defending queen takes the gold medal here in speed and style.
You know what, this is just the tip of the iceberg we're going to see out of some of these characters here this season. Caroline, we're going to see her more this weekend. Sunday's slopestyle, the inaugural women's category, the Crankworx FNBA Slopestyle World Championship. And, you know, this is great practice. I think she's making all the right calls strategically here, competing in this speed and style. Kind of get those jitters out. You know, you've already had an event and a gold medal before you even show up for Sunday's slopestyle.
Yeah, what was that, the 4th Superman seat grab we saw her do today? And by far the best one, so it's improving.
Caroline, first of all, I want to talk to you about that Superman seat grab. Such big extension on the last one. They just kept getting bigger throughout the day. How did you feel with that trick, and is that something you've been working on in the off season?
Yeah, definitely. It's one that on these tight jumps when you're racing at speed and you're in that speed mindset, then you've got to slow up to do a trick for me, which is really challenging. So yeah, I just wanted to use today as a bit of a warm up for Sunday and getting that repetition. Definitely taking it to the bigger slopestyle course, more time, a bit more extension. So they felt a bit rushed today. I couldn't really get full extension. So every time I was crossing my head, shaking my head when I crossed the line. But yeah, to do that bit bigger one in the final. And the girls are just absolutely throwing down. Yeah, the level of ladies always improving, and even the guys. So it's always a fun show to watch the elements of speed and style come together, and everyone's laying it all on the line.
What a start to the season for you. The reigning queen of Crankworx, a gold medal so early on in the festival here at stop number 1. Congratulations.
Thanks, guys.
Good stuff. I mean, we're going to see so much more out of her all season. The fact that she's put her primary focus on slopestyle. I mean, she's been in the Olympics for BMX, and she's had so many different chapters in her career where she shifts focus, so this is just the next chapter, and we can't wait to see it unfold. Another thing I can't wait to see unfold is this gold medal matchup for the men. Billy Meeklem has secured the bronze, but you know what? We still got another race to go here. Will the gold medal go to Garrett Meacham? Will the reigning king join the reigning queen on the top step of the podium? Will Tohoto Ariki Pene grab the gold? Let's refresh ourselves. Here's how run number 1 went.
Yeah, run number 1 was super tight between these riders. Coming up to this first trick jump, both riders getting their full extension. Garrett with the triple combo, so you know that's going to deduct enough time to take that lead. And here they come down these final flat turns side by side and really leaving it up to the jumps. And you know that Garrett's got a little bit of an advantage there.
I am into this. This is what's up right now. A 1.485 advantage belonging to Garrett Meacham over to Hoto Ariki Penne. You know what? I think this is my prediction. I think that they're going to stick to their guns, and this is going to come down to who can be the most precise in this run. Let's see what happens.
Tohoto might be on the slightly faster side, and I think he knows it. The aggression out of the gate was like something I hadn't seen yet. Garrett pulling up side by side, sticking to their guns on the tricks, but man, they are close. Tohoto with a slight lead. He's going to be rocketing out of this last turn and putting everything he's got down towards the finish. Couple of bike lengths for Tohoto. Garrett gets his tricks off. Both riders coming around these flat turns.
Wow, Tohoto landed so low. Both riders smooth through the flat corners. Oh man. Just under 1.5 was the advantage for Garrett Meacham leading into this matchup. Of course, we have to factor in these jump scores now. Jump 1 coming in, 112 points for Garrett. Great job out of both of these riders, sticking to their guns and stomping their tricks. I think these were 2 flawless runs, but we're going to be able to put it through a fine-tooth comb right now in slow motion.
I think I felt the ground shaking on those second and third pedals out of the gate from Tohoto.
Oh, Tohoto's handlebars weren't touching his legs. That was so much commitment. He had his hands off with nothing really touching the bikes except for his feet on the pedals. That's right, y'all.
Yeah, these riders side by side, you see the different methods there. You see Tohoto jumping through there and Garrett pumping. When you say pumping, that's when you push the back tires down on the backside to try to get momentum off of the jumps.
Join us for Pump Track tomorrow, why not?
Garrett.
Oh man, Tohoto landed so low.
Which is a testament to how hard he was going on speed, giving everything he could down that hill.
I mean, perfect truck to X there for Garrett. Perfect tuck no-hander to X up for Tohoto. Here we get to see how low Tohoto landed. When you get compressed so hard that your head's pointing down at your knees, you got to look up and find those gates. That is presence of mind. Missing Lino, what a race. Or was that Missing Link? What a race. I agree. That is what Speed and Style is all about right now. What is the story going to be? Who's going to grab the gold medal? The score's coming in. Gold medal to Garrett Meacham. Tohoto securing the silver. Wow, congratulations, Garrett, the man who took...
2-0, baby, let's go!
2 golds last season. Finished off the season, Whistler with a gold. Starting out this season, Rotorua with a gold. The top scores, the top 5 scores all day here today. Somebody's on fire.
Yeah, you can see all that off-season preparation just really coming through for Garrett. Almost making it easy, but you know it wasn't. You could tell he was putting everything he had out there on the line. And Tohoto, maybe the underdog in this, nothing but icing on the cake, getting a silver medal in Speed and Style for Tohoto, the defending king. That's points, baby.
Well, the story begins, you know, as we get closer and closer to the final and 4th stop every year on this tour. We look back, and every one of these moments, in hindsight, we realize how much they matter because the races get so close at the end. Garrett Meacham, congratulations.
Thank you, guys.
Grabbing that gold medal, man. What a show you put on. When we talked to you mid-race, we talked a lot about your off-season training. You said that you were so excited to just start the season. You were ready a month ago. So obviously you've been training your brain as well. I'm curious because you're looking so strong right now. King of Crankworx, is that something that is on your, let's call it a vision board. Do you have a little board in your room with you and a crown on it?
I don't have a photo of me with a crown, no. But I mean, we're going to be going to try to get to all the stops if like injury allows us. But I don't want to call it out too soon. I'm just going to take it race by race, day by day. You know, King of Crankworx would be sick though, but not putting any big pressure like that on myself.
Well, you were just in the gate with the reigning King of Crankworx, and that's the kind of stuff that he said last year leading in. So I have a feeling we're going to have a nice evolving story out here right now. Congratulations, man. That was a great performance. Soak it up.
Sweet. Thank you, guys.
I love it. First stop. That's the response you get. I mean, I'm getting some points. I guess I could maybe think about that. It's like...
Yeah, it's game on, man. 2024, the season has started. People are racking up points already. The king and queen crowns are in conversation. I'm excited.
Let's make him a vision board and send it to him. You know his address, I'm sure. Let's make one. We'll put a little crown on it.
I don't know his address, but I know how to get there.
Just drop it off on his front door. Wow, what a great show. This has been the Crankworx Rotorua Speed and Style. This is our first broadcast of stop number 1 right here. You know, the Tanifa downhill took place. That was Rob Warner and Elliot Jackson. I was cozy on my couch watching that, but I could not be more fired up to do 3 more of these the next couple of days. We got tomorrow, big day coming up.
Yeah, we got a double day, we got slalom, and we have pump track under the lights, one of the biggest events here for the spectators. Always a good show. We've seen people make or break their careers in that pump track race. And then on Sunday, the big day.
The big day, slopestyle, kicking off the Crankworx FMBA Slopestyle World Championship Series. And for the first time, including the women's category, I can't wait to see how that goes. I can't wait to see Emil Johansson riding that course on a hardtail. We always see him on a full suspension bike. I can't wait to see Fedco, Tim Bringer. It's going to be insane. But let's talk about Queen of Crankworx, because we got a leaderboard now. We're a few events in. Looking pretty good, Alan.
Yeah, Martha Gill already stretching her lead by 30 points. You know, it's an early season. It's early in this event here in Rotorua, so it's not over, but she's looking good so far.
Ooh. Well, look at that. Adding some more points to his tally is the reigning king, Tuhoto Ariki Penny. He is the man to beat right now. He is 22 points ahead of Ryan Gilchrist, who won the Air DH. Jacob Jewett with a really strong podium performance in the Tanifa downhill. And then Garrett, after that gold medal he just secured moments ago, is sitting in that top 4 as well. So, you know what? This chat has been pretty fun. I got to remind you again, we got this pretty amazing t-shirt we're going to be giving away. Wait, what is this? Let me clarify something real quick, Alan.
Yeah, I heard something about the possible giveaway. Do we have a winner for the t-shirt? Is that the word on the street? We're
Can we
looking
get a
in the
drum
chat.
roll?
Where's the chat?
Can we get a drum roll? Hendrik Dolberg, guess what? You just won this t-shirt. Congratulations. Thanks for tuning in. It's been fun chatting with everybody. We should do this again sometime.
What do you say tomorrow? Let's do it twice.
We should do it twice tomorrow, but I feel like that's not even going to be enough. We should do it again on Sunday.
Okay, let's do it. Yeah, let's like have everybody do it on Sunday. The boys, the girls, everybody.
Henrik, congratulations. You won a t-shirt. I don't know how we're going to get it to you, but somebody else is going to take care of it. I wish you were right there right now and I would just chuck it off the back. But we will get it to you some way, shape, or form. I know how Garrett Meacham is going to get his gold medal. He's going to hop up on the top step of a podium, spray some champagne, and soak up the glory. Well, please join us tomorrow, dual slalom and pump track. Then join us again on Sunday for slopestyle. I've been your host, Cam McCall, alongside Alan Cook. Thanks for joining us. We'll see you tomorrow.